We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. There are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, a different heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna oppress us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobuni wave was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. I see rising sun from Africa. Oh, this is time of victory. Oh, yeah. I see future in Africa. Oh, yeah. People of Biafra. See light shining on the world. Oh, yeah.
What's that, Martin? We're not fighting each other. We know where we're going. We're going to get Biafra. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I need them to understand this. We've crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return. There is nothing anybody can do. If I'm alive, if I'm dead, if I'm wherever I may be, Biafra will come. If I'm dead, it's even better because it will come far more quicker. I can assure you. If Biafra is fighting for you, no one will touch your property. If you're fighting alone, you're bound to lose it. So Biafra is the best. We will become the 16th member country of ECOWAS. If Nigeria doesn't release those properties, then we'll take them to court and we'll get them back. Even twice the value. The Jews had investments all over the world. Most of the priceless artifacts and paintings belonged to many families in Germany. It was stolen by the Nazi Party. Do you know that? Eventually they got everything back with compensation on top of it. That's what we're going to do. If you touch our investments, we'll come back for you. And we'll know where we can get it from. So there is nothing for anyone to worry about. It's only if I'm not stopping you from being a Nigerian, if you are born on the streets of Lagos and you want to be a Lagosian and your name is Adamma, oh, well and good. There's no problem.
Onye si na agata anya ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fe arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị igwe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụ anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra bụ ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm jiri ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo ekosịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo ekwasịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị agaghị isi n'efu ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizọba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ Yaki we did to Ozu. Oh, go on, memory and Goliath. Chineke na nke igwe memory na fellow. She brought to a man, can fellow goes only home on the idea of the way talk up with your thoughts. They can do any news on him in case you will. Or what are they in any Nagan the group on your Probably one working really gone over one of like the Yogan. Come on, you want your grandma who forgot Anaga this year. Come on, I'm going to book another little baby. All the young and I keep bringing on you. And you were not saying I'm getting so. Blackie will go send it Biafra and Abogano. Blackie will make a bag in my way, which you don't need to wear. Blackie will stop on Dinkel. Blackie will make a Biafra way there. Can you never to go and stop on a jammer? See, then I had to make a car jammer.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this very quick evening program. I appreciate those who have made it to this program. And I also thank those who are going to be watching later. Like and share the program. You know, every evening we come for a short briefing, a short update, and that is why we're here. So as you join us, like and share the program on your platform. This evening, we are still talking about the betrayal, unmasking the betrayal in the Biafra restriction. There has been a lot of betrayal. And for a very long time, this betrayal has been secret. This betrayal has been there, but some of us pretend we don't see it. Some of us pretend it's not existing. Even those who are participating in that betrayal are hiding themselves. But today it has become much more exposed and open. They can't hide anymore. They can no longer hide. The betrayal, they can no longer hide. Today they are coming in the open. We can see the DOS coming out to attack Mazen Nandekano, to call him names, to abuse him, to ask for his jail time to be extended, to ask for his life sentence, to ask for death penalty for him. Abusing his family, abusing his lawyers. We have seen many people that have been recruited today speaking against Mazen Nandekano. For a long time, they have been underground. During the time of Mazen Simon Ekpa, they were underground, they couldn't speak. In the same vein today, we are still seeing some betrayal under Mazen Simon Ekpa. There are so many that are betraying Mazen Simon Ekpa today, making sure that he's not released, fighting against his release. There are many that are fighting against Mazi Simon Ekpa directly and indirectly. When you know about Mazi Simon Ekpa, you are a Biafra, you are working under him, and you are in Finland, then you refuse to visit him. What is that? Is that not betrayal? If you refuse to visit Mazi Simon Ekpa, is that not a betrayal? It is a betrayal. We have seen people flying all the way from United States of America to go and see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria. We have seen organizations sending delegates from the United States to go and see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria. The Rising Sun have sent delegates. Avid have sent delegates to go and see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Individuals have flown from United States to go and see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria. But Mazi Simon Ekpa, many people today that are claiming to be his follower. Many people today that are claiming to support Mazi Simon Ekpa. Some of them are in Finland. They can't even go and visit Mazi Simon Ekpa. They can't even go and make him at least feel that he has some people. Many of us in several places, we have the opportunity, we have citizenship, we have everything, but we cannot even fly to go and visit Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland. Some are busy working against his proper and adequate legal representation. They don't want him to get a legal representation. Some people are fighting so hard. When you talk about contribution or you talk about Mazi Simon Ekpa getting an international lawyer, they fight it. And when they are fighting, you ask them, what are you doing to see that Mazi Simon Ekpa is properly represented? Nothing. You are doing nothing. And those who are doing something, you are castigating them, attacking them, abusing them. What is that? Betrayal. So we will continue to unmask this betrayal. If you know any way or manner that you are betraying our leaders, remove your hand. If you know any way that you are betraying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa, remove your hand. Because your punishment is going to come. Your punishment is going to come. And it is Chukwu Okike Abiyama that will bring that punishment. The earlier you caution yourself, the better. If you know any way you are standing against the freedom of Mazi Simon Ekpa or freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, remove your hand. If you know any way you are betraying them, stop. Stop while you still have time, because the punishment is coming. And Chukwu Okike Abiyama will deliver that punishment for you. The betrayal in this Biafra resurrection is so much and huge. It's very huge that sometimes you can't keep silent. Even when we say, okay, let us keep silent and pretend it's not happening. Sometimes you cannot but speak. Even when you try to be silent, you cannot. Sometimes when we say, oh, we will not talk about these things, we will not talk about this issue, you cannot pretend, because the betrayal is so much. These are men who have sacrificed their own life, sacrificed their own career, because of you, because of me. But the only thing we can do is to continue to jeopardize their effort. What are you going to gain? Jeopardizing the effort of Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what are you going to gain? As you are jeopardizing their effort, what is your gain? What do you intend to gain? What do you intend to gain when you are making sure that they are not properly represented? Your own is to make sure that they are not properly represented. You are fighting day in, day out to destroy their image. You are pushing propaganda, blackmail against them every now and again. And you think that Chukwu Okike Abiyama will forgive you. Chukwu Okike Abiyama will never forgive you. These are men who have raised the flag of Biafra. They raised the flag of Biafra with their life, with their blood, with their sweat, with everything that they stand for. What do you do instead of you supporting them? You are busy pushing propaganda, blackmail, attacking them, destroying their image, attacking their lawyers, attacking everybody that is speaking and calling their name. You don't want to do anything for them. And when you see people who want to speak on their behalf, you fight them. When you see people who are promoting them, you get angry. You want us to promote you and forget about our leaders. You should be ashamed of yourself. Wherever you are and you call yourself a Biafran. You must know that we have no other way to go apart from pursuing the freedom of our leaders. I have said it time and again and again and again that there is no project in Biafra restoration today that is greater than the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. There is no other project. Every other project is not genuine. Don't waste your energy, don't waste your resources, don't waste your power for anything. The only project today that matters in Biafra restoration, whether you want freedom or whether you want recognition or you want actualization of Biafra, you want defense of Biafra land or you want unity, the only thing that can guarantee our unity, our recognition, our full restoration is the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. Take it or leave it. You can continue to pretend and tell yourself something else to make you happy. It is up to you. You can continue to listen to your social media ranting and social media massaging of your ego. It's up to you. I don't come here to tell you what you will like. I will tell you what is obtainable. I will tell you what is obtainable. I will not come here and read the Google for you. Go and copy something in Google and read something that doesn't exist. I'm telling you what is obtainable. The reality on the ground is what I'm telling you. It is left for you to take it or leave it. It is left for you to take it or leave it. The only thing, the major thing today that matters in this struggle, there is no project today that matters than the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. There is no project that is more than that. There is no project that is more than that. If you are in this struggle, any other project apart from releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa is nothing but massaging of ego, deception, distraction. That is what it is. It is a total distraction. The only project that I will advise every Biafran to invest in, invest your time, invest your money, invest your prayer, invest your advice, is the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. Any place you hear it, I don't care the group that is talking about it. I don't care about your group. You can call your group any name. I don't care. But let the project you have be how to free our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. Any other project apart from that is fake. It is deception. Deception. It is a distraction. If you like, take it or leave it. If you want unity, that unity is in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. You want recognition, that recognition is in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. If you want full restoration of Biafra, guaranteed, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa must be free. If you like, continue to dance around, listen to your social media massaging of ego, and it is up to you. My own duty is to come and tell you what is true and obtainable. Like me, hate me, I don't care. My program is not to make anybody happy or to praise anybody. There are only two leaders that stands out, tested and trusted. They have given everything. They have no other career apart from Biafra. Mazi Simon Ekpa, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they don't have any other career apart from Biafra. And if you are a genuine Biafra agitator, your concern, the only project that is genuine today, the only genuine project that undoubtedly, when you see it, any group that you see that are talking about freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, freedom of Mazi Simon Ekpa, any person that is fighting, support that person. I don't care the group the person belongs. I don't care who the person is. As long as that person is focusing on the project of freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa, support them. in any way you can. That is the only genuine project to the actualization of Biafra today. The only genuine project to the actualization of Biafra, because every other thing is on standstill. Everything is on standstill. Forget about all this your ranting, all these stories they are telling you people to make you happy. I am not here to tell you a story, and nobody can tell me a story. Focus on reality on the ground. Even as I'm telling you, whatever I say here, go back, think within yourself. The reality will be done on you. Firsthand, I can tell you all that Mazen Nandekana have achieved when he was there. Everything that he did. And I can tell you where the DOS left it. DOS, since Mazen Nandekana left, they have not done anything, no project. Likewise, I can tell you every single thing that Mazen Simon Ekpa did up to the declaration of Biafra. It was Mazen Simon Ekpa. Everything that Mazen Simon did up to declaration, that is where we stopped. There is nothing else added. Every other thing you are seeing today is just drama. You're just watching drama. You watch drama. That is why I say everybody should focus on the release of Mazen Nandekan and Mazen Simon Ekpa. That is the only genuine project that any Biafran group will present. And I will look at them. I don't care the group. Any group that presents that project, the only genuine project today, how to free Mazen Nandekan and Mazen Simon Ekpa. Make sure they have proper representation. Proper and adequate representation. That is the only project we have. Any other thing is a waste of time. The betrayal is so much. It is huge. And at this time, the betrayal is open. We know those who are betraying. You know them. I know them. So stop pretending. Stop waiting for me to come and tell you and call people name and begin to abuse. No, I don't engage in saga. I tell you words to waken your spirit and make you to begin to think like a human. That is all I do. And I will continue to do so. I pray that Chukwu Kabiam will give us the wisdom to do what we are supposed to do. So this evening, as always, we will go on their media to see what they have on their media. On the drama that is happening in the Zoological Republic. We know that Nigeria has ended. The Nigerian drama is on daily basis. And why I play videos from Nigerian news is to confirm that Nigeria is fake. It's not genuine. You see how they went and released fake information that the man Biba who was in the north helping the Christians that were being murdered. The missionary who was in the north helping the Christians that were being killed, they say they have deported him. And the man came out and said, I wasn't deported. I traveled by myself. I reokayed my ticket and I went back because I bought going and returning ticket when I was coming. And they came and said that he was deported. Lie. A government that lie in everything. Everything about the Nigerian government is lie. So let us go to their media and see their shame. Bring their shame to their face. That is why we always feature them. And I want every one of us to pay attention to their disgrace that you're about to watch.
Welcome back, and you're still watching BOP this morning. The federal government has expelled Alex Bega, an American missionary working in Nigeria's conflict-affected Middle Belt, accusing him of making statements capable of inciting violence and deepening visions. The development was confirmed by Abiodun Eshiet, the senior special assistant to President Bola Tinubu on community engagement North Central, during a monitored television interview on Monday. Eshiet said Babia's activities had raised serious concerns about national unity and public safety. According to him, Babia's comments during a speech in Jos Plateau State allegedly had immediate consequences. He claimed that violence broke out shortly after the remarks. Alex Bibia has made a video countering these claims. Let's have a look at it. Let's listen to Alex's video.
The aide to President Tinubu declared on TVC News that I was deported, that my visa was revoked. She cited no evidence, there was no documentation, there was no alert to the embassy. Nothing was said and nothing was done. This is the first time that I'm hearing this. And the reality is that it was DSS that was literally protecting my life from evil people in Nigeria. They were ordered by the government to ensure that nothing would happen to me. Because I speak truth in power, because I actually go to the communities and I help the people that are oppressed, the ones that are suffering, because I'm doing the job that the government is not doing. They want to silence my voice. And I tell you, nothing will silence me. It is my duty to speak truth. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how you come against me, no matter what lie you say, you will never silence me. As Muslims are calling for my arrest for speaking out on what the truth is of what's happening in Nigeria, Gumi, the known terrorist, walks free. No Muslims are calling for the arrest of terrorists in Nigeria, but the one who comes to speak truth, they want to be arrested, they want to be deported. Even if you are to deport me at any point, the voice will never be silenced. Truth will prevail. I stand for goodness, I stand for righteousness, I stand for justice. And those are the things that any government, any country should rest upon. Even 2 hours before my flight, I was at News Central in Abuja doing a live interview. Where was the deportation? Did they deport me to the news office? I purchased a round-trip flight a month before I came to Nigeria, and I have evidence of that. I've even posted it on X for people to see. My flight was from March 10th to April 1st, and I have countless texts between my partners and other people on WhatsApp that I'm also posting here in this video for you to see that my flight and my trip was pre-planned in advance from March 10th through April 1st. No government told me to leave, no official told me to leave, and you certainly did not tell me to leave. I've never heard of you, I don't know who you are, my friends don't know you, other people in power don't know you, yet you're on the news, you're spewing lies. And it's evil. It's wicked. And at the end of the day, this shows the integrity of Nigerian officials. If officials will go to the public and they will directly lie with no shame, boldly declare lies to the people,
that is what
both
they do.
domestic and
Lies.
international, what does that say about the people?
That is what they do.
Oh, well, that's Alex's video.
Lie.
And to discuss this morning, in the studio we have
Shameless, disgrace country.
Later on, we'll be joined from Benin by Comrade Destiny Enabudeli, who's a former executive chairman and an analyst. We also have from Oka Barrister Clem Agui, who will also be joining us. In the studio with us, we have Mazi. I call him Mazi. Mazi, good morning.
Thank you very much.
For joining us.
Good morning.
Barrister, let's start with you. Alex has been outspoken for the longest time. Why does it appear as though it's being clamped down at this time? Is this the federal government's deliberate attempt to control the narrative of the insecurity situation in Nigeria's north?
You know, this government is becoming paranoid. They have a way of blaming you for the problems they created for themselves. I've always said it here. That is the stock in trade of this administration. Whenever they create a problem, they look for a scapegoat. Before this man came to Nigeria, was it because of insecurity? And since he left, have we not seen more slaughters? So on what ground will you say that what the man said is causing problem? Please, what should we have said in this country today? In fact, it's it's unfortunate. What should Kumi have said and what he has done physically? Which one is worse? This man is calling your attention to your people that are being slaughtered. Instead of you to engage him, engage him in a very what I call it, simple discussion, a robust discussion on the issue he is raising. You now deported him, thinking that the matter have ended. The man is now spreading your name over there in America. Meanwhile, you paid $9 million for a lobby to launder your image. Look at the contradiction. The American society will listen to this man more than your lobbyists. Seriously, the man is all over America as I talk to you now. That picture is all over the place. So, what have you done to yourself? What the man said, is it true or false? That is the question you should ask yourself. They are killing your citizens, and somebody is telling you, do something about it, and the man has become your enemy. It's unfortunate, seriously. We don't have leadership here. These people, they don't have any intelligence in their head at all. It's not able to call the man and say, come. Yes, what he said is true. But we're doing something about it. We thank you for raising this issue. Please, is there any suggestion you have about that? You talk to him like a human being. The next thing, you deported him.
Okay,
As soon as the man is causing problem.
talking about deportation, if I heard Alex right, Alex said, well, that he wasn't deported, that he left on his own violation, on his own accord, because according to him, he bought a round trip ticket, return ticket. And that even 2 hours before he left, that he went to New Central TV station and appeared on a live show. So what is the government trying to do by saying, well, we expelled him? And that is one question. Another question is that, well, the government handler, the president handler said, well, we deported him, which he has refuted because he is making divisive statements and all of that. He said he made a statement to us, and following that statement, 2 Muslims were killed.
And you told 2?
Oh, yes. Yes, that's exactly what they
So
said.
this other dude that was slaughtered, who made the statement concerning their killing? Who made the statement against this slaughter that happened? Those 2 Muslims. Because 2 Muslims were killed, I think. This other person that were slaughtered, who made a statement for their killing? This government doesn't have anything. They don't think when they do something. The man that said he was not, of course, he was trying to give himself a good image. He cannot tell the whole world that he was deported from Nigeria. He can't say that. That's the normal thing. Yes, he can't say that, but you and I know the truth. They said it and it happened. So what are you saying? What I'm saying is that the government cannot continue like this. Yes, they are talking of demarketing Nigeria. You are the one doing it. You are demarketing yourself deliberately, and you are looking for somebody to blame. It shows that this government, they don't even know how to build their country, a nation. Something as bad as slaughtering of your people is happening here, and somebody says do something about it, and the person has become your enemy. But if you don't even want anybody to criticize you or talk about you, no matter how bad you are, you should not be quiet. That is what you want. Is that not true? The same America that tries to help you, and you are done it to their national, and you think their government over there will plan for you that you have done well.
Okay. All right, but thank you very much, Mr. Kumar. Let's bring in Marzi Amobi into this conversation. Now, Marzi, you are familiar with Alex's story. He's been helping to rebuild homes in Yelwata. At some point, the state government said, well, we saw some homes that you were building that were uncompleted, and they got into a debate, a controversy. Well, those buildings, Alex said, I've completed a certain number of buildings. Government said, no, you have not. In fact, stop building. That was what the Benue State government said, stop building. Now, this is, and again, he said, well, let's get a costing to build a market so that even people can go back to the markets for what the government said. He put up his own quotation, and after that, government came up with something that is 1,000 times higher than the quotation that he got. And as we speak, I'm not sure that project is ongoing. Now, this is the narrative of, well, he said something and two Muslims were killed. How does it fit within the context of the federal government denying that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let's take it back. Why was Nigeria declared CPC, country of particular concern? It is as a result of the conception by American government that there was a Christian genocide and all that. Back and forth, until we have about 200 boots on the ground, America, all that. I think the Nigerian government could have dealt with this Alex issue rather differently. Many times, if somebody begins to talk and all that, you don't know where it's coming from. What should have been done is to get this man beside the government. He can reveal some other things that he knows, which the government will not be able to know, and all that, because he has penetrated the place, he's talking to the locals. There are information probably he has that the government did not have. So the government could have engaged him, put him side by side in the war against terror and all that. Branding him, enemy of state is not the right thing to do. I think personally that the government could have acted differently. You know, government could have acted differently. He's a stranger who has come to look at issues rather dispassionately, and then you could have, interacted with him with a view to understanding, because you might be a Nigerian, but you don't understand the dynamics of what is going on. That's not. Then, if somebody like him, people can confide in him. I think he has quality information that helps government to, branding him the terrorists when we have many of them. But I don't think it's the right thing. I do not think it's the right thing.
Yeah, I wanted to take up a bit on that.
Yeah.
While the president's handler was trying to exonerate his principal, he did say something that sort of indicts them. He said, violent words, the statement led to a riot in Jos. So if a statement by a missionary, in Jos could lead to a riot, what does he say about our internal structure?
I think rather the point would be what is the state of things in Nigeria. If a missionary statement could, trigger off riots or more killings, it means something is wrong with our state, Nigeria. It means there is discontent. It means things are not, working together. It means there is a lacuna even in the social interaction of people. So it becomes handy for government to. I insist that government could have acted differently with a view to understanding where Alex is coming from and begin to build bridges that can, take care of some of the things he has raised. What he has raised points to the fact, speaks to the fact that probably, to a larger degree, there is Christian genocide in Islam. That is what it is.
Alright.
And government should have taken the opportunity to underscore what the man is saying and how to go about it.
All right. Thank you, Mazi. Let's take this conversation down to our Orca. The Orca, where we are being joined by Barrister Clem Agui. He's a lawyer, columnist, and politician and a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Barrister Clem. Good morning, sir.
Good to have.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, very well. Love what you're doing this morning.
Thank you, sir. So I'm sure you've been following the conversation. What are your thoughts on this issue with Alex Barbier and federal government? He's been sent out of Nigeria because he reportedly made incisive comments that led to a riot in Jos that killed 2 Muslims.
And what the federal government means that he made an incisive statement that led to a riot in Jos that killed 2 Muslims. And it appears that it's only the federal government that knows about this riot. We Nigerians never knew anything about these riots. I've gone through what Alex Barbier has said, and I didn't see anything inciting there. He simply spoke the truth that is the pattern to the killings in Nigeria. And he did mention that these killings were also targeted at Christians and Muslims, and probably referring to modern Muslims, because each time was another killing. And it's very unfortunate that our federal government was too quick to remove from the country a missionary with just a Bible, and also fund that are rebuilding homes through his Build Zion Foundation, and also equipping the persecuted, where he had helped them to rebuild their homes that were destroyed by these terrorists and bandits. The government didn't see that. And I don't know how many houses, I don't know how many facilities that the state government and federal government in all the countries all the states in the nation have been able to rebuild that can compare to what this missionary has done. So we can remove him very fastly and very easily from the country for saying the truth that there's a pattern to these killings. And then we are comfortable to keep in our country the bandits with rifles, the terrorists armed to the teeth that are killing our people. We're okay for the army chief to tell us these are our people and that we need to be careful in handling them. They were very quick to remove a missionary with their Bible. That's very, very sad. And what the Bible said, he said that he doesn't trust the federal government of Nigeria, the government agencies, in handling humanitarian supplies. And this is true. 2021, we had a scandal in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, of which 57 billion was missing, unaccounted for. This 57 billion was meant for Empower program. And that about 4 billion was missing, unaccounted for. We have 2.5 billion missing from the children education feeding program, unaccounted for. How about 1.5 billion naira paid to contractors that cannot be traced for not executing a job? We had another 500 million naira that were paid to contractors that are not documented anywhere. There are so many scandals in handling humanitarian affairs.
I just wanted to yeah. I just wanted to take you up on this. You know, the federal government is spending so much money. I mean, the figures have been reeled out. They're spending millions of dollars on image laundry and PR lobbying in the US. And now with this midnight deportation of Alex Berbier, don't you think, do you think this is helping our case, especially internationally? Because his video, the disclaimer video, has actually gone viral. So don't you think that this is counterproductive?
It is quite counterproductive because one, you can deport the Bible, you cannot deport the troops. The facts are there on the ground. I mean, whatever. After the president came and stayed in Jos Airport and spent 10 minutes in Jos Airport, which doesn't have to spend anywhere, according to him. What happened the next day? More killings happening. That's important to these killings. The more they tell you that they are dealing with the situation, the more they are telling you that they have the top of the issue, the more you are having killings. And nobody is being brought to justice. Nobody is being brought to account for these things. What have we done with the list of terrorist financials that was given to us by UAE and Dubai? What have we done with all the intelligence that were received? We have leakers in the government who leak military operations, even with inside the military. So what are we talking about here?
Okay. All right.
What did Bevan say that is not correct? Everything he said is correct.
Okay. All right, then thank you very much, Barrister Clem, and we will come back to the discussion. So before we go to our Benin outstation, where we have been joined by Robert Destiny and Abulele, let's get Barrister Gomon's reaction before we finally understand that that's for some other important engagement. Now, Mr. Gomon, we hear that, Alex been deported because he made his statements and all of that. But we had our own Command Chief of Defense Staff, who happens to be the Minister of Defense. Now, tell us at some point where the people that are killing natives in Nigeria are foreign terrorists. You know, they are not even Nigerian. They don't even speak our language. You know, they speak French and all of that. So, how convenient is it for the government to deport a lone individual, you know, who has been helping to rehabilitate people from the IDP camps, people that were killed in Nigeria? Yet, this same government cannot find it necessary, you know, to expel terrorists whom they have classified as non-Nigerian. How does that speak to the intentionality or otherwise of this government in fighting terrorism? When you consider all of these things, do you think it is lack of, you know, political will, or is it lack of capacity that has left us where we are?
They have confirmed what we have been saying all along, that these terrorists were imported. You know, when you go abroad and import goods in container, you are the one that imported the goods, and you like the goods as imported. So, on what ground will you now say they should return the goods back? And the owners of the good will not take it from you because you are the one that imported it, and the good is okay for you. That I believe what that man said, that they were terrorists. So, who brought them here? That is the issue. We have been saying it here that the federal government of Nigeria is in bed with these terrorists. That's why they have refused to do anything against them. You remember the prodigal son statement? They have nothing they have not said to cover these guys, to pamper them, to validate their actions. Before Nigerians, a whole minister of defense and the rest of them, military chiefs, saying all sorts of things just to accommodate the terrorists, so just to accommodate them, that they are prodigal son. Which prodigal son repented? Which prodigal son? If that is the narrative in the Bible, a prodigal son repented on his own. He later realized his foolish and come back to his father. But these are people that our gallant soldiers were able to overpower at the battlefield. And they brought them, instead of you to deal with them, you said they are prodigal son. Did they repent on their own? The answer is no. And so the other man that said that they are their brothers, you can imagine, though, terrorists are your brothers. So what other excuse have we not had? That somebody, a foreigner is telling you things and you discountenance it. And you come back to tell me you are doing everything to fight them. Who are you deceiving? Do you know one thing I love about the terrorists? Whenever government tries to cover them, they will expose government. They will make government look embarrassed. Because what they are saying, what the government is saying is not what the terrorists are doing. Remember when they kidnapped some people in the Niger State? They said that nobody was kidnapped. The terrorists simply brought out the people they kidnapped and started interviewing them.
Very much, Mr. We'll have to let you go now. But let's go on to Comrade Destiny Nabilele, former legislator who joined us virtually for this program. Good morning to you, Comrade Destiny Nabilele, and thanks for being part of the program.
Yeah, Mr. Okoro, good morning.
Okay, beautiful. Want to appreciate what you have done. Yes. I would like for you to move back a bit so that we can get a better frame of you. Yeah, exactly. Beautiful, beautiful. There we have it. Now, I'm sure you have followed this conversation. How do you react to the fact that the federal government has boldly told Nigerians, well, a certain Alex Berkeley, who has been helping Nigerians, in wars on a Benue State, to rehabilitate them by building houses destroyed their water. Now, the federal government said, well, he made the basic statement, and there was a riot and 2 Muslims were killed in parts of Plateau State. How do you react to this development? What's your take on it?
Mr. Okoro, I appreciate you, and let me use the opportunity to appreciate my brothers here at the studio, Humphrey and the rest, and the only sister in our midst. You see, no Nigerian government, those that are in shadow of leadership today, they have heard the truth. They hate truth. That is the gospel truth. You see, all over the world, if you go back to history, missionaries, let me try to take us back to Martin Luther King Jr. You see, these are supposed men of God. These are men of God who ought to speak truth to power. Not the ones we have in Nigeria, this bread and butter, this jollof rice eating in Aso Rock clergymen. I listened not too long ago, a few days back, when some person begin to ask, towards social media, that our Lord Jesus Christ asks that where are our brothers? Our Christians in the South, our religious leaders, what are they doing? Now you see what we have. They are spending millions in dollars to launder or perhaps to do an image concussion in the developed world when your house is at fire. You see, I said the truth is like a lion. You don't have to protect it. Let it loose. We all scatter for safety. And the truth one day will reveal itself. Let's go back. If of late we have had some very disturbing and disheartening and demarketing statements from the supposed leaders. Like we have the talks like they are our brothers, they are prodigal sons, they are actually want their share of the national cake. These are pointer to the fact that we are encouraging them to do more. I narrated the scenario when I was coming from France, from some 2 or 3 years ago, that at transit, when we transited at a particular country, that some persons joined us, numbering up to about 30, my brother, without passport. The only thing with them was just a ticket, the flight ticket. And they landed at Unadi Azikiwe International Airport here in Abuja. Not the Kano Airport, not the Lagos Airport, not the Benin Airport, not the Port Harcourt Airport, not in Akwa Ibom Airport, but in Abuja, the seat of power. Without international passport, I took back to observe until one big man came and took them through the back door to our territory. Jesus Christ to see it.
All right, Comrade Destiny.
Wow, my Lord Jesus Christ.
Comrade
The
Destiny.
judiciary in this country has been bastardized over time. So we don't have judiciary in this country. The only consequence that I know that I can participate you freely and from the death of my Lord Jesus Christ.
Comrade Destiny and Abulele. Well, thank you very much for your
position.
But very quickly, talking about the government,
yes, sir.
Fighting insecurity, what the government has done so far. A lot of Nigerians are not pleased with the actions of the government so far. But yesterday, we saw about 500 individuals on trial in the Federal High Court in Abuja for providing logistics to insecurity. How do you react to that statement? Because some Nigerians are saying, yes, they're trying 500 of them for providing logistics to bandits, terrorists, and the rest. But what about those arrested? The bandits themselves, the terrorists themselves, what about them? How do you react to that development?
My brother Humphrey, what you have seen is another caricature to tell Nigeria that they are working. You see, this government, there's a fundamental problem with this government. This government is a Bola-led government. So they first thing, I think there's a recent statistic that over 1,000 plus since first of Happy New Year of 2026 now, over 1,000 Nigerians, our brothers, our sisters, our wives, our mothers, our fathers, our husbands, they have been killed. Over 1,000. And nobody, close to 2,000. And what you seen yesterday, that caricature, that's the managed, before the court of law, was just to again tell Nigerians that can't you see, just from what is coming from you this morning, can't you see we are working? But my brother, I'm not faulting you in any way. But I wouldn't want the issue of what happened between that one person in National would say, if I can have my way through the screen, I would have unalive offering. So I understand the point. I sympathize with the journalists at this particular point in time because I'm a student of history. Over time, we have seen what has befell, journalists. So that's why some of us we are at home with you guys. We understand your fear. So for me, to be very sincere with you, what you've seen or you saw yesterday was just to again blindfold Nigeria. They are not working from the statement that is coming from them, from their actions and inactions. Like saying that they are evangelists, they want their own share from the national king. They are our brothers, they are prodigal sons. Right. These are from men. They are not from you and I. They are not from the village people. They are from the men in authority.
All right, then.
So for us,
thank you very much. Let's bring this back. Let's bring this back to the studio. I hope you landed on your thoughts, though. Okay, let's bring this back to the studio. We have Mazi Amobi. I want to ask you the same question. The 500 of them providing logistics. One Amatu has been sentenced to 40 years in prison to run concurrently for the crimes that he committed and the rest of it. How do you react to that? Some would say that's a step in the right direction. At least we're trying the supporters of the terrorists. But some are saying, how about the terrorists themselves? Because we hear government is looking at rehabilitation for some of them, both the sympathizers and more on the side of the terrorists themselves. What's your reaction to that? Yeah, thank you very much. Earlier on, Mr. Guru talked about whether it was lack of political will or lack of capacity. I would say both plus conspiracy. That is why the government has not been able to head on type of this menace. Um, for Alex, what government have done has gone a long way to lionize Alex. Alex is now a champion. Yeah. Check out Alex in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks and see how Alex will be looked at globally and all that. And I think we have scored a low goal.
What specific
By-
impacts do you think that will have on Nigeria's image in international?
Definitely, they will spend more money trying to launder their image. Their already battered image. That somebody has come to assist you, solve a problem which over the years you have not been able to solve. And then you have branded the person in quotes, as enemy of the state. It's not good enough. And America having, because he was saying he's not here alone, that the government of America knows that he's there. I overheard one of his videos. He said that he's not here alone. That Trump even knows that he's there and all that. So what does that signify? It goes a long way to amplify the fact that American government, he has the backing of American government and all that. Little wonder when things start happening to Nigerians, let us not say we do not know when it started. It has started already. So I think the government should have been more circumspect in dealing with issues pertaining Alex, as it were. Having said that, this is my first time of hearing that about 500 people are up for trial at the same time. And look at those guys. Some of them were even putting their legs on the chair. As if they don't even understand what is going on. I think the optics is not too right for the government. I think they are hasty. That tells me there is a panic mood. Government is in a panic mood, trying to salvage their image. What are they going to achieve with arraigning, 500 people who do not even understand why they are there? Some were sitting akimbo. Some don't even understand what is going on and all that. I think the government has gotten it wrong. They should have thought of a better way to assuage, Nigerians that they are working. More importantly, somebody has elected to give you information, assist those people that have been deprived and all that, and you are just the person away, only to arraign 500 rat packs, and all that. The optics is not right, but government, in their wisdom, believes that they are doing yeoman's job, trying to solve the problem. I think the problem is more, they are solving it, their ability to solve this problem should not be cosmetic. It should be real. Like now, the government should have been in their, war room, kind of thinking how best to solve this problem. Instead, they are commissioning 2 kilometer roads.
All right,
That's not fair.
let's examine Abiodun Osiek's role. He's said to be the special advisor to the president on community engagement. What exactly does this role entail? Vis-a-vis, what has just happened? What does that role entail?
You see, after every election, there are a lot more people that worked, to actualize somebody's election aspirations and all that. I think this is one of the jobs for the boys or the girls, as it were, or the ladies. To me, I don't see it as anything. The community get. What does that mean? You understand me? During the election, a lot of promises were made. People will then get their living in politics and all that. And that is why politics has become a profession. Politics is not supposed to be a profession. Politics should be service to the people. It is unfortunate that we have made politics, job for the boys. I don't even understand that role. And this is perhaps the first time we are hearing about this advisor on community engagement. It doesn't, it doesn't, where is the bionogas of this world that is almost always everywhere, trying to explain government policy? All right. And as before, what is it called? Before the debacle of Al Jazeera, You could have seen our good friend Daniel Buala, all over the place and all that, trying to explain some of these things and that. So I do not think that it is relevant. It's not a relevant position as far as I'm concerned. Right. Some of those monies could have been channeled into much more fruitful ventures.
All right, thank you very much, Nazi Amobi Hedber. I think we'll consider this your concluding thoughts on this insecurity.
Absolutely.
Let's go around. Let's have concluding thoughts as well, because we're moving away from insecurity to politics now. Barrister Clem Agui, let's have your concluding thoughts on this. Everything that we've discussed so far, what would be your concluding thoughts on it?
Let's now cross over to D.C., where the U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, are holding a press conference on the Iran war at the Pentagon. Let's listen.
System and intelligence, acumen, and agility of our joint force. CENTCOM forces destroyed approximately 80% of Iran's air defense systems, striking more than 1,500 air defense targets, more than 450 ballistic missile storage facilities, 800 one-way attack drones storage facilities. All of these systems are gone. We've devastated Iran's command and control and logistical networks, destroying more than 2,000 command and control nodes and degrading their ability to target U.S. and friendly forces. It is, and we know this, incredibly frustrating right now to be a lower level Iranian commander trying to fight your fight. As the Secretary said, the Iranian Navy now lies mostly at the bottom of the Arabian Gulf, and we assess that we've sunk more than 90% of their regular fleet, including all of the major surface combatants, as the Secretary said. 150 ships are at the bottom of the ocean, and half of the IRGC Navy's small attack boats. Joint fires protected from the land, sea, and air executed more than 700 strikes against naval mine targets, and we assessed that we destroyed more than 95% of their naval mines. And perhaps most importantly, we've destroyed Iran's defense industrial base, their ability to reconstitute those capabilities for years to come. We attacked, along with our partners, approximately 90% of their weapons factories. Every factory that produced Shahed one-way attack drones was struck. Every factory that produces the guidance systems that go into those drones was struck. Their missile defense industrial base is shattered, with more than 80% of their missile facilities gone, as well as their solid rocket motor production capability. It will take years for Iran to rebuild any major surface combatants, as more than 20 naval production and fabrication facilities have been damaged or destroyed, and nearly 80% of Iran's nuclear industrial base was hit, further degrading their attempts to attain a nuclear weapon. Throughout Operation Epic Fury, our joint force struck at the heart of Iran's ability to project power and threaten the United States and the region. And in order to do this, it required the service and sacrifice of more than 50,000 American warfighters deployed across CENTCOM, EUCOM, and stateside. The joint force flew more than 10,000 missions, including 62 bomber missions, 18 of which flew round trip from the United States to deliver bombs on military targets. Each of these missions was more than 30 hours in duration, and we did that 18 times. No other military in the world can do that. And it's a testament to the logistical force that quietly serves behind them. I cannot thank TRANSCOM and the Air Force Tanker and Mobility Force more. Combined with Army and Navy joint fires, we struck more than 13,000 targets. And along with our Gulf partners, we've thus far intercepted 1,700 ballistic missiles and one-way attack drones, defending our forces and our partners in the civilian population. And we remain ready to do so should the need arise. Along the way, we consume more than 6 million meals, and by my estimate, more than 950,000 gallons of coffee, 2 million energy drinks, and a lot of nicotine, but I am not saying that we have a problem. I've laid out the statistics, but it does not truly capture the nature of combat. This is gritty and unforgiving business. It's chaotic, it's hot, it's dark, it's unpredictable, and there's always unknowns. And our people proudly walked into those unknowns and continue forward. And through it all, the Joint Force has demonstrated the unwavering resolve that the nation demands of us. We are a mission-focused force, and our objectives always is to create the conditions for peace, and today we have, while be ready should that peace break, which we hope it is not, and we remain ready. Before I turn it back to the Secretary, I also want to quickly revisit the rescue of the Air Force fighter crew over the weekend. To give you an update, we've had, the Secretary and I have had the profound honor of speaking directly with many of the warfighters on that mission, from the downed crew that were picked up to those forces that went and got them. Hearing these stories firsthand has only deepened our appreciation for their tenacity, creativity, courage, and grit of the American Joint Force. This is a story that gets to the very heart and soul of who we are as a joint force, who we are as Americans. Selfless sacrifice in service of others. From the backseater, Dude 44 Bravo, whose pure and unadulterated joy at seeing those helicopters come into the valley to get his front seater in daylight, because he knew the front seater did not have a jacket, and was so filled with heart-leaping joy at his front seater getting picked up. So went in and then got him, to the tanker forces that did the things that they had to do to give their own gas away, to the support packages, to those that went into the desert landing site not once, not twice, but 3 times, as we fought through multiple contingencies. This was and is a joint force that has the guts to try, that does not quit, and who each and every day does the things that we must to dare to win. No lives were lost. We succeeded because the joint force is always at the ready. They trust each other, they trust their leaders, and they trust their training. And they remember first, foremost, and always that we do these things so that others may live, and we will never leave anyone behind. The success of Operation Fury thus far, and we hope it remains, culminates with this incredible rescue over the weekend, a direct example of the professionalism and courage of the United States military and our joint force. It's the service members on the front lines, our partners in the region, our teammates in the intelligence community, our civilian leaders in the OSW side of the house, the American workers who build the tools and weapons that we use, and the American people who back us up that help us to go do these things. I stand here humbled today, but frankly not surprised by what the Joint Force has been able to do. Their performance is fueled by a deep commitment to each other, their mission, and to our country. It is an incredible, deep honor for me to be a part of this joint force, and I'm humbled by the service and sacrifice each and every day that I am lucky enough to see. And finally, as I always do, I ask that we never forget our fallen and their families, especially those 13 fallen from Operation Epic Fury. May we always be worthy of their sacrifice and honor their legacy. And with that, sir, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll take a few questions.
Alexandra Ingersoll, One America News. First of all, thank you to our troops. What role is our military playing in escorting vessels through the Strait of Hormuz at this point? And the president said on Truth Social that the U.S. will be hanging around to make sure everything goes well. Obviously, Mr. Secretary, you just mentioned, we know the scars from hanging around in Iraq for decades. But what does that entail in terms of our military presence at this juncture?
Yeah, we'll be hanging around. We're not going anywhere. We're going to make sure Iran complies with this ceasefire, and then ultimately comes to the table and makes a deal. So we'll stay put, stay ready, stay vigilant. As the chairman laid out, our troops are prepared to defend, prepared to go on offense, prepared to restart at a moment's notice with whatever target package would be needed in order to ensure that Iran complies. As far as the Strait, you saw the initial agreement that was struck, which is Iran's letting ships go through. So there'll be that will be happening. They will be sailing. And ultimately, as the president, we've done an incredible job militarily inside the Strait of Hormuz. I failed to mention Admiral Cooper's name. He's done a phenomenal job along with everybody at AFCENT, NAPCENT, and ARCENT, all the components down there, laying the groundwork for Iran. Iran doesn't have the same ability to defend it the way they did before. And so as the president has pointed out to the rest of the world, we barely get any of our energy out of the Strait, just a tiny fraction. It's time for the rest of the world to step up and ensure that that stays open after President Trump and the War Department brought Iran to the place where they're voluntarily opening it right now, as was announced last night. Yes, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you both for the update. President Trump posted on Truth Social this morning that there has been a very productive regime change in Iran and that there will be no enrichment of uranium, and the U.S. will work with Iran to dig up and remove the deeply buried nuclear dust. So I just have two questions here. So both you, Mr. Secretary, and the President have referred to a new regime in Iran. So is this not the regime that was at war with us for 47 years? And what do we think of when we're saying that this is a new regime? What are we thinking and what are we saying there? And then my second question is, with any future deal with Iran, is their handing over of all of their enriched uranium and they're promising not to enrich any future uranium be non-negotiable for the U.S.?
Well, it's always been non-negotiable that they won't have nuclear capabilities. And so right now it's buried. We're watching it. We know exactly what they have, and they know that. And they will either give it to us, which the president has laid out. They'll give it to us voluntarily. We'll get it. We'll take it. We'll take it out. Or if we have to do something else ourselves, like we did in Midnight Hammer or something like that, we reserve that opportunity. But what's clear, what the new Iranian regime knows, is they'll never have a nuclear weapon or the capability to get a path to one. As far as the new regime, you heard the list that I read. It's a new group of people who've seen the full capability of the United States military and has a new calculus about what it means to negotiate with us. Hence why they came to the table wanting a ceasefire and the shooting to stop. So this new regime, which the regime has been changed, has a different interaction with the U.S. Right here.
Mr. Secretary, thank you.
Of course, I was going in front right here.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary and General Kane. Mary Margaret with the Daily Wire. Two questions. Iran has said that safe passage to the Strait of Hormuz will be possible in coordination with Iran's armed forces and, quote, technical limitations. What do you believe that means? And then we've also heard reports that Iran has continued striking targets well into this morning. At what point are we beyond a grace period? Are we giving them a grace period? Is there a miscommunication there? What's going on with that?
What we know is that Iran is going to say a lot of things. A lot of people are going to say a lot of things, claim a lot of things. What has been agreed to, what's been stated, is the Strait is open. Our military is watching. I'm sure their military is watching, but commerce will flow. And that's what you saw the markets react to, is that reality. As far as shooting that, we were monitoring it last night in real time. Of course we are. Iran would be wise to find a way to get the carrier pigeon to their troops out in remote locations to know not to shoot any longer one-way attacks or missiles, because this takes time sometimes for ceasefires to take hold. We're watching it. We're prepared if necessary, but we hope and believe that it'll hold. Yes.
Thank you, Secretary.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Why are you so rude? Just wait. I'm calling on people.
Thank you, Secretary. Yesterday in the President's Truth Social, he threatened to wipe out a civilization. That statement elicited a huge response in America. If Iran did not come to the table and make a deal yesterday by the deadline, was the President really prepared to wipe out Iran entirely?
Like I said, we had a target set, locked and loaded, of infrastructure, bridges, power plants. Remember, this is a terror regime, a military regime. Use all of these things for dual use to fund their military, to fund their terror campaigns. We had a lot of legitimate targets. They knew exactly the scope of what we were capable of. We hit some military targets on Karg, which is a bit of a signal. They can't defend it. And so Iran ultimately understood their ability, their future to produce, to generate power, to fuel their terrorist regime was in our hands, was in President Trump's hands. That's why they came to the table. He ultimately said, we can take it all from you. Your ability to export energy will be taken away. And the United States military has the ability to strike those things with impunity. That type of threat is what brought them to the place where they effectively say, okay, we want to cut this deal. Yes, right here.
Morning, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chairman, David Zier, Real America's Voice. During the ceasefire, what do we do when we see Iran rearming, regrouping, repositioning weapon systems and air defenses? And also, have we confirmed the specific model type of air defense or man-pads that took down our F-15, and is it still a threat for our patrols?
We're still working through the specific details around that particular shoot down. And the crews, when they normally return, go through a debriefing process along with the other members of that flight that were out there. And they'll go back, as they always do, and forensically look at what are the tactical lessons learned. Did we sense or see something? Could we have done something different? We do that, as I mentioned in a prior press conference, every single time we take any loss like that, so that we become a quick learning organization. On the other part of your question around the movement of Iranian military forces, U.S. CENTCOM will continue to monitor that situation. They will continue to have a series of response options. And if need be, we'll come to the Secretary and to the President for guidance and be prepared to do the things that they're ordered to do so against valid military targets in accordance with the normal procedures that we have.
I would just note, it's a good question. The more Iran moves forces, the more they emplace forces, the more easily targetable they are for us right now. Remember, we're able to look, we're able to see, we're able to sense. We know so if they try to pre-position, they're just creating riper military targets for us to strike should they make the wrong decision at the table. Right here.
Mr. Secretary, Louis Martinez with ABC News. First, a question to General Kane, sir. In your personal opinion, were the risks of the Strait of Hormuz being closed because of the conflict, were they mitigated early enough in part of the decision-making process to lead up to the decision to take action against Iran? And in your opinion, is Iran in control of the Strait of Hormuz? We just heard the Secretary say that Iran is letting the ships through, which would imply that potentially it's not just. The Secretary also said that the U.S. That the strait is open. We did say that, sir. But in your opinion, sir, how can U.S. ensure safe passage? Mr. Secretary, can you say today that the United States achieved, the administration achieved the military goals that you constantly delineated? But strategically, is that a victory because of that? And also, you said earlier that the president chose mercy, but you yourself had said 3 weeks ago that we will give no quarter to Iranian troops. How do you correlate those two? And do you think that your comments may put American troops at risk?
No. I try to be nice up here, but you did listen to what I said, right? I laid out the objectives. We believe we've accomplished them, and it's a historic military victory. And President Trump has the option as the commander-in-chief to compel an adversary to the table, which is precisely what he did. And at the end, he chose to say, you know what, I'd rather talk to you at the table than obliterate your capability to export oil and fund your terror regime. So he did make that choice. That was his choice. He was a president of peace, and he's been willing to make those really tough calls that the American people elected him to do. Nothing we've done, not a single thing we've done. It's a typical, of course, it's ADC. Not a single thing we've done has put an American troop in more of a harm's way. We've only set our troops up to harm Iranian military capabilities, which they've done to devastating fashion and to great success. Mr. Chairman, you got a
There's a lot in that question. I'd love to take that offline and answer it, but I'm struggling to find exactly what your question was, and that's probably me, not you. Okay, all right.
Sorry about that. Mr. Chairman, it was an indictment framed as a question, so you're forgiven for understanding. Go ahead, please.
Against it.
No, you've had your chance. Go ahead.
Open right now.
Thank you very much.
I believe so, based on the diplomatic negotiations. I believe so. I believe so. Sorry.
Mr. Kurd or Rahim Rashidi from Kurdistan. I'm representative Kurdistan TV and Kurdistan 24 today. I have two questions. Mr. Secretary, will your forces stay in the region and continue to defend and protect your allies and take the responsibility for their security? Second question is, as you mentioned, many times that you have full control of Iran airspace. Do you still have this control or not?
Well, thank you for the question. The chairman mentioned the UAE and Bahrain and Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, who have fought shoulder to shoulder with us, especially in defense of our facilities, of our people, of their facilities, and we appreciate that. So that coordination, of course, will continue. And then when it comes to the skies over Iran, I would point to Exhibit A and Exhibit B, 7 hours in the day, 7 hours at night. If any foreign adversary attempted to do the same over our soil, they would have no ability to do so. Will they have a system here or there? Maybe. Do they have a network, a system that's capable of defending their skies? No, they don't. It's been, as the chairman laid out, that's been dismantled, degraded, and destroyed. So it's a slight distinction, but an important one. Yes, right here.
Yes, Iran puts General George in the middle of a war.
Excuse me, you got a question? Go ahead.
Yes. Two questions actually for you. So during this time, are you still encouraging civilians to rise up against the regime, or are they satisfied with this new regime change, or is this two-week period to kind of see where that leads? Also, talk about the enriched uranium going in there. Would that require special forces or other military, our service members? Who would be basically going in there, trusted to going in there to get that uranium out?
Mm-hmm. Again, on the uranium, we're watching it. We know what they have, and they will give it up, and we'll get it, and we'll take it. If we have to, we can do it in any means necessary. So that's something the president is going to solve for. We already have Midnight Hammer with the place we put them in, and the reason it's in the situation where it is. The second one was about the people. Listen, I would love to see the Iranian people take advantage of this opportunity. They have been oppressed by the previous regime, and they'll have a new opportunity with this regime. That remains to be seen. That was not our objective in this effort, but they're brave people. Horrible things have been done to them by the previous regime. Tens of thousands targeted and killed and assassinated in a way the government never should. And we wish them the best, absolutely. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
That is the update that is coming from the United States. We will continue to say it as it happened. The Strait of the Hormuz is open and Iran has surrendered. The peace has been brokered and we are still waiting to see what is going to be the next
It's still the morning show here on Rise News. Now let's take a look at news stories making headlines around the globe. First off, US President Donald Trump pulled back on his threats to launch devastating strikes on Iran late Tuesday as the US and Iran agreed to a two-week ceasefire that includes the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. Trump swerved to de-escalate the war less than 2 hours before the deadline he set for Tehran to capitulate to a deal of phased attacks on its bridges and power plants meant to destroy Iranian civilization. Iran's Supreme National Security Council said it has accepted the ceasefire and that it would negotiate with the United States and Pakistan beginning Friday. Neither Iran nor the United States said when the ceasefire would begin, and attacks took place in Israel, Iran, and across the Gulf region early Wednesday. Israel backed the US ceasefire with Iran, but the deal doesn't cover fighting against Hezbollah in Lebanon, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said early Wednesday. The World Bank has prescribed some policy responses for Nigeria in the wake of the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, including fiscal discipline, rebuilding fiscal buffers, and saving from the oil windfall for the rainy day. The outbreak of the conflict, which pitted Iran against the United States of America and Israel, has seen oil prices shooting above $100 per barrel, higher than Nigeria's budgeted benchmark price of $64.85. Presenting the April 2026 edition of Nigeria Development Update titled Nigeria's Tomorrow Must Start Today, the Case for Early Childhood Development in Abuja on Tuesday, World Bank lead economist for Nigeria, Fiseha Haley, stated that the country's gross revenues had increased due to economic reforms. He said the NDU report recommended a cocktail of policy responses for Nigeria to manage the oil windfall and reduce inflationary pressures stemming from the Middle East conflict. Such policy responses bordered on fiscal discipline, monetary and foreign exchange policy, and what the report described as market functioning. On fiscal discipline, Haley said World Bank admonished Nigeria to save for the rainy day, rebuild fiscal buffers, and adopt targeted social protection, not blanket subsidies. Moving on, the federal government has commenced a marathon trial of 500 terror suspects arrested in connection with a series of deadly attacks across the country. The suspects were alleged to have participated mainly in the northern parts of the country, where more than 2,000 Nigerians have been killed and properties destroyed. Others were accused of aiding and abetting the heinous crimes through direct and indirect sponsorship, including the provision of finance, arms and ammunition, as well as food supplies. The trial, which usually takes place in Kainji, Niger State, was moved to the Federal High Court in Abuja as the court is currently on Easter vacation. Some of the judges involved in the trial of the defendants are Justice Binta Nyako, Justice Emeka Inwite, Justice Musa Liman, and Justice Akpan Ikerite, among others. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, AGF Prince Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, supported by the Director of Public Prosecutions of the Federation, Rotimi Oyedepo, SAN, is leading the prosecution team. On the other hand, the director of the Legal Aid Council of Nigeria, Mr. Aliyu Bagudu Abubakar, is leading the defense team with support from several lawyers. A new faction of the African Democratic Congress has been announced by the state chairman of the party loyal to former presidential candidate Dumebi Kachiku. The National Caretaker Committee, led by the chairman of ADC State Chairman Timitope Kingsley, distanced itself from the coalition led by David Mark and the group associating itself with Nafiu Balagombe. The chairman briefed the media in Abuja after what they termed the outcome of an emergency NEC meeting, saying they now plan to write INEC and hold a new convention. Friday Oloko monitored the developments for Rise News.
Okay, the African Democratic Congress has taken a new twist as about 25 states chairmen of the party have now taken over the reins of the party, setting up a national caretaker committee.
DC itself, but when you look at all of the details, there is enough blame to be shared. Well, the Turkey-led faction of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has called on the independent parties exist for one to be able to win an election and share the benefits thereafter. Anthony Downs calls it the economy of democracies. And this is what we see at play. Again, we unpacked this in a number of different ways yesterday when we said that, well, there's enough blame to go around. Some people blame ABC, some people blame INEC, some people blame the ADC itself. But when you look at all of the details, there is enough blame to be shared in this issue. What does the constitution of the party say? Is it being respected? Who is acting on it? Who actually cares? Where he talks about the fact that all these World Bank requirements generally fall flat in developing countries. What do we need to do? We need to expand the access to common goods.
Condense it perhaps, then you could say, well, there's some room where we're making a little extra to have inflationary problems. Some countries, in fact, worry about stagflation. Fitch, we're quoting Fitch rating yesterday, credit rating, saying 15.5%, higher than the 15.1 that the MBS reported at the end of February.
However, inflation, yes. Household income, yes. The central bank, speaking through its Nigerian representative, is very right. Royalties, gas royalties, and all of that dependent. Now, what's the other big topic? Okay, Trump, Donald Trump. Okay, look, let me put it like this. What we've been able to achieve with the 2-week ceasefire is just a reprieve. It's not a final settlement. And I think that these 2 weeks will be, characterized by a lot of treacherous options. Because President Trump said that this has been arrived at on the basis of the 10-point plan proposed by Iran. The details have not been provided by the Iranians themselves. Other than that, we know that they are asking for reparation damages. Other than that, we know they are asking for cessation of hostilities. Other than that, we know that they are insisting on the sovereignty of Iran over the Strait of Hormuz. So there is a war of narratives. President Trump is saying, this shows that America has won the war. Well, America has succeeded in decimating the leadership, the military strength of Iran. But does this amount to victory for the United States? I do not think so. But that's the narrative for the United States, because the Iranian narrative is different. The Iranians are also celebrating that this shows that they have the control over the Strait of Hormuz. Two, that no country can intimidate them. This is the 39-day. And that the United States, in their own reckoning, has failed. Now, before we all begin to celebrate this reprieve, as I call it, you recall that there has been strikes, even as the ceasefire was a little bit delayed before before doomsday Armageddon time, chosen by President Trump, which was 8 p.m. Eastern time yesterday, 12 midnight to 1 a.m. GMT yesterday in some other places. That there were attacks on Kagas Island, where the Iranians have their major, power plant installations, and the Iranians themselves also attacked, assets in Saudi Arabia. So the fear, however, is that the markets may be cheering. The markets are excited. If you look at the Asia Pacific today, the markets seem to be doing well. The Hang Seng Index up by about 2.8%. AXE 200 in Australia up by 2.6%. The South Korean Kospi, up by 4%. And then, of course, you have all of that showing all over that area. Nike Japan, 225, increasing, gaining by about 5%. Oil prices have also gone down. WTI is down to about 94.28. WTI is down to about $95.49. Brent crude is down to about 94.28. So the relief is there, but will it last? What will happen subsequently? So it's just a face-saving situation that we have. However, what we have is, if you like, call it the triumph of diplomacy, or the diplomacy setting in at the last minute, because diplomacy failed. That's why we had that war beginning on February 20. And shame on President Trump. He is returning to the same diplomacy, thanks to Pakistan Prime Minister Sharif, because we have now seen that, when hostilities continue, at the end of the day, you have to return to the table. The Pakistani Prime Minister says the delegations will meet on Friday. The major thing is what happens hereafter. What happens hereafter? So we may have the reprieve in the markets, on Wall Street, and in terms of oil price, but I think that the days ahead will be even more interesting. ADC. Yesterday, I said, look, in this political arrangement where you have political parties in Nigeria that are things that you can just buy off the shelf, as shell companies. Buyer should beware. Caveat emptor, I said yesterday. Now we have one political party, the African Democratic Congress, one party, three.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I greet you all from Sultan Abubakar International Airport, Sokoto. I am here with me on my left is Dr. Chukwuemeka of IC Harvey, American military veterans of Igbo descent who traveled all the way from the United States to accompany me to Sokoto City, Union. On my right is Barrister Obonna, Kelechi Obonna, who is our local anchor here and has been very helpful. Today, we concluded our 2-day visitation with Oyedu. We saw him yesterday and saw him again today. We are at the airport en route to Southeast Nigeria. All messages delivered to several persons by Oyedu will be delivered privately. So he was happy. He was upbeat, and he requested us to convey his profound gratitude and appreciation faithful. So here now, Dr. Ofo might have one or two things to say. Dr. Ofo?
Thank you, Anthony and Oyedu. We had a candid meeting with Oyedu, and he was happy to see us. He's healthy and upbeat. The man is a lion, and we thank God for him.
He's an enigma.
Yes, he's a lion, and we thank God for him. And we have give us some messages, and then when I get to this thing, I invite you to yes. So, everybody just keep praying that everything will go well. Thank you.
Thank you. Brother Kelechi, what can I say hi to our people? Thank you, story of God and my husband. Yes, he's the man that made it all possible here. He's our local anchor. He's a member of the legal team, a ranking member for that matter. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you for your prayers. Goodbye.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, ideal heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll on the block couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Sucker had the first taste of a hero's blood. About Bunigwe was stronger than flood, but a juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my vein. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the war was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home.